Hey guys, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home. And yes, the beard is gone. The hair is cut. Things finally started to open up in Massachusetts, so I don't look like a caveman anymore. So that's the first different thing about this video. The number two thing that's a little bit different about this video is that for the first time on this channel, I'm not talking about movies or a home theater.
A what?
But I'm talking about a different form of physical media, and that is vinyl. Now, these are still going to be connected to movies in many cases, and I have some really cool movie-related vinyl to show off. But some people had asked me, since I do post on Instagram and on YouTube, occasionally I talk about vinyl and different records that I do have. It's another form of physical media which I do really like collecting. More for the aesthetic of it. I'm not so worried about the sound myself, although I have a record player. It's very cool. We have a stand-up record player in the house. I love playing records at like Christmas time or when people come over. It's a really cool thing to have, but I really like the way that the cover art looks, and they look great on display, and so that's a big reason why I collect them. So today I'm going to go through, I can't go through the entire collection because some of this really, you guys wouldn't care about it. It would start to get boring. There's some vinyl in there that you probably wouldn't care about. So what I did was I took out anything that's movie related, anything that's pop culture, movie, TV related, and then I took out some of my favorite vinyl records from a collection. We probably have, my wife and I, we probably have 100 records, maybe more. So I took out the ones that I really like rather than going through 100 and making a super long video, because a lot of them aren't super special stuff you can pick up at a thrift store for $1. But I did pick some of the really cool ones and the movie and TV related ones. So that's what we're going to do in this video today. I'm going to run through those and talk a little bit about each one and what I know about it. And maybe, you guys will see some cool stuff that you want to add to your collection, because honestly, I have these up with my movies and my Blu-rays, my 4K, and they do look great on a shelf as sort of an accent piece for your collection, and it's a really cool collector's item to have for one of your favorite movies, as you'll see. So with that being said, I'm going to jump right into this with some of the movie-related stuff. First one, some of these are old, some of these are banged up a little bit, but the big thing is that the record still works okay. And the first one is Annie. So this is the original motion picture soundtrack of Annie. This is typically what I like to pick up for vinyl, is you get the motion picture soundtrack, and on vinyl you get some really cool, you get that hiss and pop and really cool old sound. So this one's kind of in tough shape, the record, but this is from Columbia. We know how much I like Columbia classics, so Annie, obviously classic musical, lots of good music on that one. The next one, I found this at a thrift store, and it was banged up, but I had to have it because of what it was, and it's Mary Poppins, Walt Disney. So this is the original Dick Van Dyke, Julie Andrews, the original cast soundtrack, and it's actually missing, it's unfortunate, it's missing one of the discs, but, or one of the records, but this is the vinyl here, and that's in pretty good shape considering. And then it does have some cool stuff on the inside. It's going to be hard to see this whole thing, but some cool notes about the movie, things like that. Now, the last couple I have that are movie related that are older, more classics, and this one's in really good shape. Sound of Music, they probably made a lot of these vinyl. This would have been very popular, but again, Julie Andrews, Christopher Plummer. Sound of Music is a classic musical, so had to get that. And then this one was really cool, another Columbia Pictures title, and this actually won the Academy Award for Best Score, and that is The Bridge on the River Kwai vinyl original soundtrack. So I was really excited to get this. There's some really cool artwork on the back. It's great on a shelf, and the record itself is in excellent shape. So that's a really cool one. This is an original from I don't know when. Found it at a thrift store and had to have it because great movie, and an Academy Award winning score, why not pick that up? So now some newer stuff that I'm going to go through quickly. First one, this is a TV show that my wife and I, we watch this religiously, and it's Bob's Burgers, and this is the music album. This has 3 different records in it and 107 different songs. And if you know Bob's Burgers, at the end of the credits on every episode, there's usually some sort of like silly little song related to the episode. That goes on for a few minutes during the end credits. And so that's sort of, this is a compilation of all those. I'll scan across here, but really cool stuff. Message from the creator, and we had to have this one. She loves Bob's Burgers. I love Bob's Burgers, and you know, it's just a cool collector's item. Has the theme song on it, of course, but then it has all these different songs from the show, because it's actually a fairly musical show. They do kind of songs and break out into musical numbers quite a bit. So that's a cool one. Next one, I've got a Marvel, Disney Marvel soundtrack here. And this is one of my favorite soundtracks to any movie ever. And this is Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. The cool thing about this is the deluxe edition. On the first record, it has the Awesome Mix Volume 1, which has stuff like Hooked on a Feeling, Spirit in the Sky, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5, Cherry Bomb, Pina Colada Song, Ain't No Mountain High Enough, all the great music that was in the movie. And then disc 2 has the original score by Tyler Bates. So we get both the original score and the original soundtrack, which is super cool to have both in one edition. I think this was a limited edition. I want to say I got this at... I think I got this at an Urban Outfitters, and I got a cassette tape of Awesome Mix Volume 1 and Volume 2, also from Urban Outfitters. So that's a cool place to look out for collectible vinyl like this. Now this next one up should come as no surprise that I had to have this, but it is Jaws, the original motion picture score from John Williams. This has the main title, all the different victim songs, the first victim, the pier incident, Ben Gardner's boat, Tug on the Line, Quint's Tale, all the great music from this movie, which has such a great score. This is a 2-disc set, and I'll show you one of the discs, but this was a Mondo Records release. So if you don't know Mondo Records, they do some steelbooks too, but these are cool vinyl. It has like this white blue kind of splatter on it. So this is a Mondo limited edition release. They're not super limited, but really liked the artwork on this. Had to have it. Some, you know, nothing crazy on the inside. But I loved the artwork. I loved having this on the shelf with my Jaws poster, with all my Jaws Blu-ray and 4K movies. Just had to have it, and it's a classic score. These are probably pretty hard to find now. Now, another limited edition, and I got this back in 2018, right when the movie came out. This is Halloween, and this is not John Carpenter's Halloween. I wish I had that on vinyl. I'm still looking for it for a good price. But this is the 2018 new movie, which, I mean, also was scored by John Carpenter, right? I think he did it with... Trying to find it really quick. Yeah, he did it with his son, Cody Carpenter, and Daniel Davies. So it's still John Carpenter's score. And this is a really cool release from a company called Sacred Bones Records. They do a ton of cool stuff that's usually super limited. The cool thing about this release is that it comes with, I'm not going to open this all the way, but if you know the movie, it comes with the Michael Myers like target that Laurie Strode uses in the movie to like practice in her backyard. And it also has a super cool vinyl. So it's clear with an orange splatter, and it just has Michael's face on it. There's no like other information other than Sacred Bones and Michael Myers. So really cool, and even the artwork on this, that's Laurie Strode there. and then your list of music on the back. So it's first of all, an awesome score, but this is an amazing set that it includes, like this cool thing, the target practice, this awesome vinyl, and then this really cool set, which you can see the eyes are empty, and as I slide this stuff back in, it will fill in the eye holes. So there, now you can see Halloween behind it. So it's really, it's super cool. I love the artwork on it. It just looks like it's his mask, right? It's Michael Myers' mask. And this was a limited edition as well. I don't remember what it was limited to. It might have been like 1,500. So it wasn't super limited, but I know this one's really hard to get. I think you can get a standard version, but this one's probably going to put you back a few dollars now. Now, real quickly, because I almost forgot, we do have a Disney soundtrack again, Moana. Probably my wife's favorite Disney Pixar movie. Loved the music in it, had to have the soundtrack, so we picked it up. And a really cool collector's item again for Disney fans is to get the vinyl soundtracks. Has awesome artwork, and the disc itself is pretty plain, but it has like a kind of cool artwork on the label on the disc itself. But you know, Lin-Manuel Miranda did most of the songs for this, so awesome stuff. And then this last one, the reason I'm making this video is because I posted this on Instagram. Just got it in 2 days ago. This is The Witch. Now, you guys know I love A24. I love horror movies. I love The Witch. It's a New England folktale. I'm in New England. I love the whole vibe of it. It just is awesome. And this release was limited to 300. Only 300 of these made with this special disc. So here is the red splatter, they're calling it, vinyl. Only 300 of these made. I got it right when I signed up for Sacred Bones emails because I bought the Halloween set, and they have some really cool, they do a lot of indie artists, but they also have really cool relationships, specifically it seems for like horror movies. That seems to be like their kind of audience, which is perfect for me. But they get these really cool exclusives. And so you can buy the Witch soundtrack for probably 30 or 40 bucks. I bought this for 30, limited to only 300 copies in the entire world with this red splatter. And after I bought it, I saw it on eBay, and somebody wanted like 150 bucks for it because it sold out so fast, which is just, that's absurd. Like, I don't say you should pay that, but I got it for $30 and I love it. Artwork on the back and front is excellent, and this looks great on the shelf next to my A24 and horror stuff. And that vinyl is so freaking cool. So I'm really excited to have this one in my collection. And so that's actually sort of the end of the movie related stuff. Now the rest is going to be music, and I'm going to try to show off some cool music that I like, and music I'm happy I have on vinyl. So if you don't care about that stuff, I guess you're done watching, but I am going to jump into some really cool music here, starting with, and this is original. This is George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. Awesome album. George Harrison, I think, is the most talented of all the Beatles. Call me out, tell me I'm wrong, but he's honestly the most musically talented, and I think he did the best work in a solo career. I mean, Paul McCartney maybe close second. John Lennon obviously didn't have much time, unfortunately, and Ringo was never much of a solo artist. So George Harrison, just super talented. I love this album, and you know, we got a few of these. Unfortunately, my wife's grandfather passed away just about 2 weeks ago now, and he was a massive musician. Played guitar, played in bands for 40, 50 years, jazz, blues, rock, folk, whatever. And so he actually, we were going through some stuff, and he had some records stored away down in the basement, and that's where a few of these came from, including this one, who we found out was his favorite Beatle just a couple days before he passed. So this is a really cool album. It's all original. This is not a reprint. This is the original from back in 72. It's got the Apple, which was their record label for the Beatles. So awesome stuff there. And then a few more that we did take. We have something new from the Beatles. This again is the original. there's a lot of songs on here from their movie A Hard Day's Night, which is in the Criterion collection. So that's why I really like this one. It has 5 songs from Hard Day's Night, which if you don't know that movie, it's actually really good. It's actually really cool. If you like the Beatles at all, I highly recommend that one. Then we've got Live If You Want It, the Rolling Stones. This is a live album. I'm not actually sure what year this is from, but I know it has classic songs on it. Fortune Teller, Can't Get No Satisfaction, Lady Jane, all kinds of great stuff. And it was a live album, so I figured, it's probably, most of these are probably from the 70s, and had to have that, Rolling Stones. And then my favorite band of all time, now this one's a little banged up, but it, again, is the original record. This is Creedence Clearwater Revival. I think that for their short run, they probably have the best lineup of songs. Put their top 10 songs up against any other band's top 10 songs and tell me that they don't compete and possibly win that battle. They have hit after hit after hit, and they only lasted for a few years before they kind of broke up. But this is Green River, which has songs like Bad Moon Rising, Green River, obviously, Tombstone Shadow, Sinister Purpose, some really great stuff on here, so that's a cool one. Now a couple more, again, this one's in tough shape, but this is the Doobie Brothers, and this is the album with China Grove on it, which is one of my favorite songs. I love China Grove. Also have the Eagles, Hotel California. This is their original record here. It's a little sticky, it's a little bit old, but it is so classic. And I think this one actually, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, so it has Hotel California, New Kid in Town, Life in the Fast Lane, some really great stuff. But this was, probably the Eagles' most famous song. So I got that one. Got some more Beatles. The early Beatles is a reissue, but this has like Twist and Shout, Love Me Do, great stuff like that. We got Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. This is a classic, of course, and this is the original. This has Go Your Own Way, Don't Stop, I Don't Want to Know, Oh Daddy, great stuff on there. We got some Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young original album, really cool. And then Johnny Cash, Walk the Line. You can't beat Johnny Cash. I love Johnny Cash. This has I Walk the Line, Folsom Prison Blues, Troublesome Waters, some really good stuff. I picked this up at a thrift store. Again, the cases, like the displays, are in tough shape, but the records are in great shape. And now we get some newer stuff. This one's still sealed, but maybe my favorite rock album of all time, Green Day, American Idiot. This came out when I was in like the 6th or 7th grade, I think. And I listened to it nonstop. I know probably every word to every song on here. I was going to see them at Fenway Park this summer, but it got canceled because of COVID. That would have been the first time I was seeing them live in person. They were going to be there with Weezer and Fall Out Boy. It was going to be a great concert, but it got canceled. But American Idiot on vinyl, have to have that. Some Bruno Mars. I love this album. 24 Karat Magic is awesome. Bruno Mars is a great artist. Now this is obviously a classic. This is Beatles, Abbey Road, but this is a reissue. This is like how you can buy, now that vinyl's become so popular, you can get some of these older vinyl releases as reissues, and they're in great shape, and this is awesome. It's great to have it, but I do prefer trying to get those originals, which I just showed you, when we can. Another guy I really like, and we were going to see this summer in New Hampshire, but it got canceled, Chris Stapleton. This is a great album, tons of great songs on here. Traveler, Tennessee Whiskey, Parachute, The Devil Named Music, so many great songs on here. And then another guy I really like, this is Leon Bridges, Coming Home. This has songs like Smooth Sailing, Twistin' and Groovin', River, Coming Home, of course, Brown Skin Girl, Better Man. This is from 2015, and it's just a non-stop hit after hit after hit. I've seen him live. If you want a great live show, this guy puts on a show like you wouldn't believe. I saw him outdoors in Portland, Maine. If you guys aren't familiar at all with the Portland, Maine area, we saw him at Thompson Point, which is a really cool outdoor venue, and he killed it. Now he probably will sell out, basketball arenas and stuff. He can get a much bigger venue and a much bigger audience, but that was a great show. And then the last one here for this video, this is my favorite rapper right now, and I picked this up off of Amazon right when it came out. But this is Good Kid, Mad City. This is I think the deluxe version by Kendrick Lamar. Love Kendrick Lamar. Songs on here include Backseat Freestyle, which is great. I don't want to swear and get demonetized, but Don't Kill My Vibe. Money Trees, Poetic Justice, Swimming Pools, Compton with Dr. Dre, The Recipe with Dr. Dre. Some really great stuff on here. So this was his like debut studio album. He had done some mixtapes, but love his stuff. Love the album. Had to get it on vinyl. So that's it for the video. That concludes kind of the music portion. We had the movie portion in TV. So hopefully that was interesting. It's a different form of physical media, but again, sure, can I 100% stream every one of these songs on Spotify? And do I have Spotify? Yes, of course I have Spotify, just like I have Netflix and I have, Amazon Prime and Apple TV and all that stuff, because there's some stuff you can only get on there, and there's definitely convenience. But if I want to sit down and really listen to something and just like chill out, I still like the sound of the vinyl. I like being able to put that on. It's kind of like it's not like a party trick, but it's like a cool thing to have going. Starts a conversation at a party rather than some music playing in the background off of Spotify. People come over, look at the records, look at the record player. I think that's really cool. It sparks a conversation. You can see a physical piece of music, a physical item, an album cover, all that stuff. And I prefer them to CDs, even though they're large and they're a little hard to store. We got a cool record storage right next to our record player down in the living room downstairs. So I really like the way they look. And the ones that I keep up here with my movies look incredible too. So like, yeah, I have Spotify, and obviously when I'm driving, I don't have a record player. I can't put on Creedence in the car with the record. I go to Spotify and I play them there, but it's just a cool thing to have, and it's a conversation starter, and I think that's a big part of what makes physical media so appealing to people. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. I know this was a little bit different, but I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I got that new The Witch soundtrack, which was super cool, that I wanted to show off, and so this is perfect timing for it. But I do have some more 4K reviews coming. I've got to get through the rest of the Columbia Classics box set. I appreciate all your support on that. Columbia and Sony let me know that I was one of I believe only 2 or 3 YouTubers who even got that release early, and they really appreciated the engagement that I got on those videos and the support that you guys gave to me. And it really went a long way to show them, my channel's for real. We've got a real great community here. And even though there are larger channels out there, they weren't getting the same engagement. So not putting anybody down, it was just a cool note. I've never had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, what you did was awesome. We really liked your video, and we love your community that you've built. So that's a shout out to all you guys from them. So I just wanted to share that. But otherwise, follow me on Instagram, stay up to date on stuff, make sure you're subscribed, share and like this video, and check out all the links down in my description for ways you can help support me and my channel. And I now have channel memberships, so if you're at all interested in that, for $2 a month, you join in, you can get special badges and things like that. It's just a $2 commitment right through YouTube. I feel like this is better than Patreon. It's more integrated within YouTube. And then for $5 a month, if you do sign up for that, you are entered into members only monthly live streams that I'll be doing. So it's a couple extra dollars a month. It all goes to support my channel, but I am going to give back to those who are at the $5 level with that monthly live stream. If you're at the $2 level, you get special badges and things when we do live chats, and when you leave comments, people know you're a member of the channel and you support the channel, and it sticks out in the live chat if you want me to answer your questions. So that's another way you can support. But yeah, there's a join button now next to subscribe. You can click there and check it out. But just want to thank you again for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy out there. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your week.